everybody, and welcome to the first episode of a new series. I am on a little break from sewing right now, and while I have all this extra time, I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I have been flipping through my huge collection of quilting magazines. So I thought I could contribute some YouTube content by filming myself as I'm flipping through these magazines. So today, for this first one, we're gonna do this February 2021 issue of American Patchwork and Quilting. I'll just flip through it on camera so you can see the quilts along with me. Today I am checking out the February 2021 American Patchwork and Quilting from Better Homes and Gardens. This issue features Adita Sitar, we'll take a look at that spread because they're just amazing. Here are all the quilt patterns that we're going to be checking out. I have looked at the magazine before, and then I just tried to cover some of the pattern information with some stickies, just so I don't violate any copyright rules. The first part is just some like little fluff stuff. Here's the article about Adita Sitar. She just has this immaculate style. The colors are amazing, but also her patchwork is just tiny. I mean, look at that. It's itty bitty. She makes these beautiful, beautiful quilts. And look at her dog. Oh, so cute. Can you imagine all of the work that it took to make those mini quilts? I cannot imagine. I love it though. I would never do it, but I love it. Okay, here's our first quilt pattern. It's called Batik Jewels. It makes a finished quilt that is 100 inches square. So I think, what is that? Queen size probably. Right off the bat, I love batiks, but I'm not crazy about a white background. So I'm excited to see this quilt like in the other color option. I do like the sashing. So I think that the way they made this quilt, yeah, it's on point. And then you get that fancy sashing with little cornerstones on your blocks. I think this quilt would be a lot more interesting if the background color was maybe this limey green, and then these dark ones would kind of pop off of it. I like the colors, I just don't love them on the white. So let's look at this color option here. I love these color options because it always looks so different to me. Like in this one, I'm seeing these geese because they flipped the dark and the light. So instead of pointing out, they're like little bow ties. I think that I like these kind of medallion shapes a little better, but I do always love to see how you can change the look of the quilt just by flipping some of the colors. Okay, this next one is Let the Good Times Roll. Rolling stone blocks set on point feature Joe Morton fabrics in a nod to friends who couldn't gather in 2020. This looks kind of similar to that last one, though. No. I think it's just the colors look similar to me. Rolling stone blocks, I was looking at the color option for this, and I really look at this rolling stone block. When I think of a rolling stone block, this is what I think of. So it's amazing, again, how just like swapping, I think what they've swapped here is this little two patch of rectangles. Like if that was flipped, then you would get the rolling stone block. This seems kind of plain, you know, you have these big sash parts. If I was going to make this quilt, I would like to make it like this. I like those rolling stone blocks all put together, or even just skinny sashing between those. I really like that too. Okay, next we have a pouch. Whew. Create a charming bag out of scraps, buttons, and trims. Wow, this pouch has buttons and hand quilting and rickrack. Wow. I am the most interested in how they put that zipper in. Do you see how there's like binding at the zipper? I think this is probably a little bit too much work for me to make a pouch, but I'm gonna look more closely at how they got Surely you don't have to do it by hand. I'm interested in the zipper. Not interested in hand quilting a pouch. Okay, this quilt, Love and Peace, nostalgic prints and happy colors conjure comforting memories of 1970s gardens. Let's see, here's our flat look. This border I stared at for so long. Okay, so the quilt itself, I'm not crazy about pinwheels. This I think is helped a lot by these little cornerstones right in the middle, or I guess it's not a cornerstone, it's in the middle. These little squares that come together in the middle, it looks like a ton of work to make those. You have 2 points to match on every single one, but I think pinwheels kind of throw me in like a swastika direction, and I know the swastika has a rich cultural history before World War II, but it's just like, I can't not see the swastikas. So I don't love the pinwheels. I do think they're helped by these middle things. What I am really interested in this quilt is the border. This border I stared at for so long. The way that you make it, I think you're supposed to lose your points. So then you get kind of like a little bit softer of a look, but you do get points on the inside. You just lose them on the outside. And that's the way, I double checked, that's the way that these units are made. They don't have seam allowance when you make them on the end. So I think that's really interesting. I have been burned lots of times by trying to get patchwork points to show right at the binding. Bonnie Hunter is famous for doing this. Her scrappy patchwork goes all the way to the binding, and then when I bind, I'm just not precise enough to get those points. So I think this is interesting. On this quilt, I had to look really close to see that it was intentional to lose the points. So I think if I was going to do this, I'd want to make them even shorter, like maybe trim, even after the quilting, trim it down a little bit to give even more of like a humpy look. But I don't know what that does for the inside. Does that make it look worse? I don't know. Put a comment, tell me what you think of this border. I really like these blue corners. I might scrap up the colors in here, but I'm really fascinated by those borders. Oh, and look at the color option. This, it's like squares. They align their colors. Again, not crazy about the pinwheels in here, but intrigued by the border. Ooh, La Rouge baskets. Pieced basket blocks, a historically decorative motif relating to hearth and home, date back to the 19th century. My goodness, look at these baskets. Oh, Wendy Shepherd, this is the designer. I love basket blocks and packed as many into this quilt as I could, I'll say. For me, they're like collecting handbags from a bygone era. Who can fault a girl for wanting a large handbag collection? This is a masterpiece. This is so many half square triangles. It's stunning. It's not my colors, but I cannot help but appreciate the craftsmanship of this. I really like how they fit, they're opposite. See how these go in and then the other two face out? I think it gives it a really nice balance across the whole top of the quilt. And I love that there's a different style of basket in the border. I don't think I would persevere. Like if I made all these baskets, and I would not make all these baskets, but if I did, I can't imagine that I would then have enthusiasm for also making this border. But you can't argue with this. It's incredible. Let's see the color option. Ooh. Totally changed, right? It looks so different with them all lined up there. Wow, look at that quilting. I can't believe on this black they did that dense of quilting, but I really like this electric blue against the black background. I think it looks really, really nice. Would not make it, but really like it. Okay, this one's called Cool Waters. Using minimal colors puts the focus on the design and quilting. I don't know. It's solid, and I think solids, they're right. You do really see the design pop. Let's see if we can see the flat look. Oh yeah, this one is like a beach towel shape. It's like a long, skinny rectangle. When you saw it in that first look, it almost looked like, are they on point? I can't even tell. No, it's straight. It's straight rows. You do get a lot of movement in these. I like the contrast. Not really into this color scheme. Let's see the color option. Ooh. Okay, never mind. I like the solids. I think I like these prints a lot. I like these colors a lot. I think on like a light blue instead of this white. But I just don't think that you can appreciate the design as much in the prints. That's a lot of, again, I had that about the basket quilt too, that same comment. It's a lot of half square triangles. This one obviously way less than the baskets, but I think maybe it's like the colors are throwing me off. My mom said this once about a solid fabric that it reminded her of scrubs, like of being in the hospital. And I think that's what I'm getting. This looks like what my dentist wears, this color with the gray. Oh, the dentist quilt. Okay, this one's not my favorite. I think for people that are good with color and good with solids, that's a strong contender, but it's not me. Okay, this is another one I had to look at for a while. This is a table runner, twist and turns, center fussy cut star motifs in star blocks to get a farmhouse style table runner you can use year round. Okay, look at this, y'all. This is how it's supposed to go. It's, I don't even know what shape that is. So you make it and you set everything nice and straight, and then you have to add these wacky shapes to get it. I don't know, does it supposed to look like it's like blowing in the, I don't know. This seems like it would be hard to bind because look at how gentle that angle is. These outer ones I feel like would be not so bad, but this inner corner with that binding, ooh, that would be challenging for me. I really like the color option. Look, just the simple, it looks like a sawtooth star when you have it like this, but when you see it, it's just, what is that, an Ohio star? With those bright contrast, pink on the blue I think looks really nice, blue on pink looks really nice. I don't know, tell me what you think about this wavy wavy table runner. Is it worth the binding headache? I think if you just put like an end on it, it would look nice straight. Okay, tile time. A fat quarter friendly design mimics the look of a mosaic floor. This is not my style fabric, but I do like this quilt. My mom just gave me some really big print fabric. It's like this big pink floral print. And I think it would look nice just as like a 3-color quilt. You know, if you have a big print in these and then a background and a smaller print in these little ones. I think the visual impact of it, like looking at it from this far away, is really cool. You almost don't even see the prints. Let's see what they did for the color option. Oh, this I do not like as much. Okay, I know I do appreciate when they change where you put the different prints and it changes the whole design, but yeah, I think the strength of this is this tile shape. And these boxes, they're kind of popping. I will give them that. The prints kind of pop out on that background set like that, but I think I prefer this setting to the other one. All right, isn't it? No, we have pieced prisms. Solid fabric sparkle in a jewel of a quilt. Okay, more solids. We know how I feel about solids. This one's paper piece, so I'm not worried about you seeing. I don't think you can steal this from YouTube. This quilt, I really like this chain design in the sashing. And I looked at it earlier, this is a block and then this is sashing. I think it's really, it has a lot of movement, how it's small and then it gets big. I'm not crazy about these prisms, and I do want to show you where's the color option here. I like the way they set this a lot more than the way they set this, but I like these colors, especially this whatever this blue is that is kind of like shining. I think that these two, this one and this one, are a lot more powerful. They're like shining, they're glittering a little bit, versus this really flat, kind of circus colored, solid palette that they picked for this. Now, these window panes, ooh, I'm not into this. I'm not into this black, white, high contrast. And maybe it's just because they flipped these, but I think I really like, oh, it's not sashing, it's the corner of those blocks. I really like the way these chains go, and I really like these colors. I think that it kind of cheapens it. Like, you do a lot of work to paper piece all that, and then what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points coming together here. That's a lot of work to not get a really big like pow. So I want to call out this. What is this? The Moonlight Collection by Wishwell by Robert Kaufman. I think this blue is really shining. This salmon looks really nice with the contrast with that kind of toothpaste color. I like those fabrics a lot. Okay, is that all we got? No. Oh, this one. Okay. Whew. Warm woolies. An innovative construction technique makes straight set blocks look like they were set on point. Y'all, this is flannel. This whole top is pieced flannel. And I don't know why they did this. It says an innovative construction technique makes the straight set look like they're on point. I don't know why they didn't just put them on point. The construction involves some pretty bananas piecing. Look at that little bitty, oh goodness, to get it to look slanted like that. And I think with flannel, like the bulk here is just gonna be a lot. So I like this color scheme a lot, but I think that the construction would be tough with the flannel. Let's see, what do they give this a rating as? It doesn't say. I feel like it usually says like intermediate or something. I don't know. How big is it? 86 by 107. That would definitely fit a queen size bed. I would say this is, I think I'm a confident intermediate quilter, but I would not attempt this. That's a lot. That's a lot. The blocks look cute in cotton. That I would do. It definitely is an impressive construction technique. Just the flannel, whew, that's a lot of flannel. Okay, and then this last quilt I wanted to show because this is just their like final word. I could have swore this block, this quilt, was in an issue of this magazine fairly recently. And I read through this blurb and it's not, it doesn't mention it, but I want to show it to you because I think it's really got this rainbow kind of gradient working. And I've tried to do a rainbow gradient several times and I've never really felt like it works. This one, these fabrics are so scrappy and the way that it goes to this really pale blue just shines. I think it's really nice. I want to find this quilt in the other issue because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And now seeing it here worked up like this, I really like it. I also really like how she put these patches in the corner. You know, when you have a border print that you just love and you don't quite have enough. I think this is an excellent solution. Just these big cornerstones. You don't have to do them in every corner. Just 2 of them. I think it's really nice. Gwen Westerman, PhD. Way to go. Really like it. Okay, so those are all the quilts in this February 2021 issue of American Patchwork and Quilting. I think you can get all the back issues of this magazine on their website. Leave me a comment and tell me what your favorite quilt was. I think my favorite was this Rolling Stone. This block, remember, set like this. Just really like the way those blocks look. So put your favorite quilt down in the comments and I'll see you next time.